Bats are a food source for humans in some areas. Bats are consumed in various amounts in some regions within China, Vietnam, Seychelles, Indonesia, Palau, Guam, and in some other African, Asian, and Pacific Rim countries and cultures. In Guam, Mariana fruit bats Pteropus marianus are considered a delicacy, in the Pacific Rim and Asia. In Guam, Mariana fruit bats Pteropus marianus are considered a delicacy, and a flying fox bat species was made endangered due to being hunted there. In addition to being hunted as a food source for humans, bats are also hunted for their skins. Varieties of fruit bats, including the sizable flying fox bat, are the most popular to eat. When it comes time to cook them up, Pemba Islanders usually roast their bats, and other cultures might toss bits of bat into soups and stir-fry. The eating of giant fruit bats or flying foxes on the island of Guam is now blamed for causing one of the most baffling and disturbing epidemics ever, a sudden appearance of a Parkinson's disease-like syndrome in the 1970s. Bats and flying foxes may carry bacteria and viruses which can be harmful to humans, but the risk of infection is low. People who are not trained and vaccinated should not handle bats. If you find an injured bat or flying fox, do not attempt to help the animal yourself or touch it in any way. The idea was simple, chilling, and controversial. Chamorro people on Guam who feasted on a traditional delicacy, the giant fruit bat, may have ingested enough of a toxin to develop a rare and fatal neurodegenerative disorder. Now this hypothesis, aired last year, has been given a boost. In the 12th of August issue of Neurology, researchers report that museum specimens of Guam's fruit bats, also known as flying foxes, are chock full of the neurotoxin BMAA. For decades scientists have struggled to explain a high incidence on Guam of a motor neuron disease that combines hallmarks of amyotrophic lateral sclerosis and the dementia of Parkinson's, with symptoms ranging from uncontrolled trembling to paralysis. One leading hypothesis linked the illness to consumption of the seeds of the cycad plant. These are used to make tortilla flour and contain BMAA and another neurotoxin, cycacin. Residents can remove most of the toxins, however, by thoroughly washing the seeds. Last year ethnobotanist Paul Cox, director of the National Tropical Botanical Garden in Kalaheo, Hawaii, noted that another local specialty, Guam's giant fruit bats, love to eat cycad seeds and suggested that cycad neurotoxins could have accumulated to dangerous levels in the bat after thousands of years of human experience on Earth. It seems there still is nothing people know less about than food. Observe a little baby. It seems to think that anything and everything its little chubby hands can get into its mouth is good to eat, and everything baby gets his hands on goes straight to his mouth. How often must young parents take things away, and try to teach the lovely little bundle of humanity that everything one's hands can touch is not necessarily good for the digestion. We're just grown-up babies. Well, one might wonder if any of us has grown up. Most of us adults still seem to think that anything we can stuff in our mouths is good for food. About the only difference between us and the baby is that baby puts into his mouth whatever looks good, while we employ the sense of taste in deciding what goes into our mouths. Your stomach is your fuel tank. Your automobile's tank is its stomach. You wouldn't think of pouring just any old thing that will pour into the stomach of your car. You know that your car was not made to consume and digest fuel oil, water, milk, or kerosene. Yes, we are very careful what we feed our automobile and totally careless and indifferent about what we feed ourselves and our children. What happens to the food you eat? In the stomach the digestive process takes place. And, once digested, if you have eaten fit and digestible food, a portion of the essential minerals and vitamins, the life-giving properties in the food, filter through the intestinal lining into the bloodstream to replenish and build up decaying cells, to provide energy, body warmth, good health. Your body is wonderfully made. It is the most wonderful mechanism in the world. But just as you must use the right kind of gasoline in the gas tank and the right kind of oils and greases in the other parts of your car or impair its performance, so you must put the right kind of food into the most delicate mechanism of all, your body. If you tried to oil a fine watch with axle grease, you wouldn't expect the watch to keep good time. And when you put into your stomach all kinds of foul things which the great architect who designed your human mechanism never intended, you foul up your body and bring on sickness, disease, aches, pains, a dulled and clogged up mind, inefficiency and inability, and you commit suicide on the installment plan by actually shortening your life. The God who designed, created, and made your body has revealed some essential basic knowledge about which meats will keep that body functioning in tip-top shape. Why does humanity refuse his instructions? When the first written revelation of God came to man through Moses, God instructed man as to which kinds of animal flesh man ought or ought not to eat. You will find this list in Leviticus chapter 11 and Deuteronomy chapter 14. To violate the physical laws of health by God often brings the penalty of disease, disability, pain, sickness, and sometimes the first death. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel.